Stipple.
Come on, won't you say it loud? Ayo, we gon' turn this out. Tom Clark's main event. Dropkick now and powerbomb. Ayo, bro, let's bring this on. Hey, hey, what is up? Oh, Captain, my Captain, show the stuff. Power slam and suplex too. Hot garbage is just for you. Big breaker, cut a code red. Figure four, hot times ahead. Since 2014, it's on. It's a 10 count, but stand up strong. Hey kid, no DQ, strong style. Chop, this is how it do. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event. Tom Clark's main event.
Hey, what's up, kids? Welcome back to the program. Tom Clark back here with you yet again on another Friday. Welcome to episode 401. Did you miss last week's episode? Shame on you, because, buddy, you missed the anniversary celebration of Tom Clark's main event. And we've been going strong since 2014. If you've never watched the show before, what's up? I'm Tom. Welcome aboard, kids. We talk pro wrestling on this here little podcast. And we, of course, are part of the Boink Studios network of podcasts. You can find us on the YouTube. We have several podcasts there with brand new episodes coming out basically 5 days a week. So please go check it out. We're going to drop the link in the description or drop the link in the comments here so as you guys can go subscribe to that. None of our content at Boink Studios is behind a paywall, just so you know. Everything is absolutely free of charge. Please feel free to go binge the content, and we appreciate it. We've got 11 years worth of podcasts, kids, video and audio formats both, and you can find us on all your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify, Audible Music, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. So there you go. Please go check us out. And, of course, Apple Podcasts as well. But, yeah, listen, we thank everybody for tuning in here today, and we got a lot to get into here today, kids. We're going to be previewing AEW Full Gear. It's tomorrow night. I'm very much looking forward to it. I previewed the show last night on Peaches and Power Bombs, along with Marie and also Alora and Ray all day, who is a valued member here of the Boink Studios family. So thanks for watching the show last night. If you did, we appreciate it. Please go give all those fine folks a follow, and it would mean loads to us. Let's get a few things taken care of here today as we're rolling along. And again, kids, if you will, as we get started here today, as I ask every time that we're here, please and thank you, smash the like button for me, all right? And share this on your feed. I would very much appreciate it. Let's see who is first to the table here today. Fernando, happy Friday to you. Good to see you, my friend. What's my favorite Thanksgiving dish? Oh, man, we got loads to get into. This is going to be also, we will not be here next Friday, kids. Just a little heads up. It's the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday. We're not going to go shopping. If I'm shopping online, yeah. But I figure everyone's going to be out and about enjoying the start of their Christmas shopping season. So we're not going to try to be here next Friday. So just a heads up, we're going to take next Friday off. And continue to hang out with our families. Let's get some Thanksgiving questions here at the end of the show, if you guys are okay with that. Josh, happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend. Ray All Day is here. Ray, good to see you, dude. Please, everybody, go check out Ray Sports and Slams live every Monday, 6 p.m. on Boink Studios YouTube as well as Facebook. And we very much appreciate it. JP is here. Happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend, as well. And yeah, we've, again, kids, we've got loads to talk about here today. If you did see the show last night on Peaches and Power Bombs, then you know that there's lots of cool stuff happening right now going into Full Gear. There's some questions about what could possibly be happening as we go along. What's going to happen tomorrow night? What's the show going to look like? All that good stuff. And also, who's going to go over? We got a lot of good matches to talk about here today, folks. And we're going to kick this thing off. First off, let's give ourselves a little bit of a holiday background here. And apologies, I meant to do this as we got started. Check that. Let's see. That's not going to work. Well, it may not work, kids. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work or not. Well, it's all right if it doesn't. We had a little Thanksgiving something happening. You know what? I may have something from the last time. Oh my, and it's backwards. We don't want to do that. Why in the world would we do that? Let's see. Turkey, baby. There we go. Yeah, apologies for not being ready for that, kids. But I've had quite the busy day. But there you go. We've at least got a taste of turkey and stuff behind us. I'm more crisp and clear than my background is, man. What do you think about that? Yeah, dude. So look, let's see. Let's try one more thing here, and then we're gonna get on to the show. Yeah, I hate that. See, that happy Thanksgiving thing is backwards. Isn't that crazy? I hate how that stuff works, man. That is just it's mind-numbingly awful. It's just the way the user interface works with this stuff, man. I'm not a fan, as you can tell. Yeah. Well, there you go. There's you some turkey behind us and everything. All right, kids, let's go ahead and talk about this because I really, really, really want to get into it. AEW Full Gear kicking off the show today with Jon Moxley versus Kyle O'Reilly. No, this is not a championship match, but I'm here to tell you, kids, I firmly believe that this will more than likely be Jon Moxley's last night in the Death Riders. Now, does that mean they're going to turn on him tomorrow night? I don't know if they're going to turn on him tomorrow night, but I do think that Jon could very well tap out. And if he taps out, it's over, okay? Because this guy's tapped out twice, and, you know, O'Reilly put him in that ankle lock this past Wednesday on Dynamite, and he tapped out like a son of a gun, and it wasn't even an actual match. So I think Jon's days as part of the Death Riders, leading the Death Riders, have come to an end. Now, we talked a lot last night on the other show about, you know, who we believe could be leading it. I think we're all of the agreement that Pac will be the one taking the reins. I think Claudio could also be a heck of a leader. We're used to Claudio being the number 2, being the enforcer. But honestly, I'd like to see Claudio take the reins. I think the guy's fantastic. At any given time, Claudio Castagnoli is one of the most underrated talents around. I don't know if it kind of feels like, would he consider himself that way, and is he okay to be in that pocket? Some guys, man, they're perfectly okay with being underrated because it you know what I mean? It takes pressure off, and they don't have to worry about people talking. I mean, fans are going to talk what they're going to talk. People are going to like what they're going to like and hate what they're going to hate. But, you know, if I'm in that, I'm thinking, yeah, I kind of like to fly under the radar just a little bit. But that's not to take away from anything that Claudio's ever done. Claudio is freaking great, and we all know that. But, yeah, I do believe that tomorrow night is Jon Moxley's last hurrah as a Death Rider. Could they save kicking him out till next Wednesday? Absolutely. Could they cost him the match tomorrow night? I say that could happen as well. I think this thing is wide open. It's wide open. So, also, Bear Mode. Hey, look out. Everybody, please welcome Jay Love to the chat. Jay is one of our co-hosts on Bear Mode, a podcast review of the Bear, and also on Two Nations Under Ted Lasso podcast. Jay says, very excited for Full Gear. Same. Sorry I couldn't join, but Kyle versus Mark, Kyle versus Mox, and Brodita versus FTR have show stealer written all over them. I could not agree more. Fernandez says, Black Friday's become dangerous. Brother, it's always been dangerous as far back as I can remember. Ray says, Mox taps soon and Death Riders will get jumped and kick out. 2-Pac will take over. You mean Pac will take over? Yeah. I think Pac will be the guy. I still would. I'm kind of leaning toward Claudio in terms of who I'd like to see take over. Let's just put it that way. Whether or not it'll happen, I don't know. JP says, what a night before Thanksgiving show that would be to kick Moxley out of the Death Riders. And look, let's be honest. In terms of kicking him out, okay, remember when he lost the championship to Paige and we all thought, well, he's going to take some time. He's back on TV the very next Wednesday. I believe, don't quote me, I believe that if he loses tomorrow night, that he's probably going to be off TV for a few weeks, if not longer. I don't know if Jon cares about taking a break. Most wrestlers don't want to take a break, okay? Do you know what I mean? They want to stay active. They want to stay, of course, involved on TV, but it's more or less staying warmed up. I mean, most wrestlers will tell you the longer they're out of the ring, the colder they get, and getting cold is not good. You got to stay warm all the time. So for Jon to stay warm, for him to take a break, Jon's not much for taking breaks. Has he earned it? Buddy, you better believe it. Will it happen? I don't know, but we'll see. Does he deserve it? Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll see how it goes down. What's up, Rob? Good to see you, my friend. He says, if you could talk to any two animals, God, brother, you got to hit me with off the wall questions during the open floor, my friend. I appreciate you as always for hanging out, but save that to the open floor. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm on the record, and we talked about this here on the show many times before about how in the lead up to the point that we're at now, I wasn't quite sure what in the world was going on with the Death Riders. I don't think any of us were. Jon was cutting these weird promos, and then he stopped cutting those weird promos, and then he started getting cryptic, and then he stopped getting cryptic, and then he went back to weird promos, and I just never could understand what it was he was trying to say. And shout out to Phil Lindsay. Phil and I would talk off mic a lot about this. And Phil would do a better job explaining to me what Jon was saying than Jon ever did. And I love Jon. No disrespect. But in the midst of cutting amazing promos, I was kind of getting lost along the way. But to see how it's all played out now, to see the state the Death Riders are in today and knowing that the end is near for Jon and that organization, I love it. I think we've come a heck of a long way. I'm here for it. I think it's great. So yeah, I'm all for this. And we'll see how it plays out tomorrow night, man. But I'm dialed in. And look, O'Reilly has earned a great spot. And look, I'll be honest. I could see Kyle O'Reilly moving up the championship ladder. Does that mean world title gets Paige? But it could be TNT Championship or any of the number of the other singles belts that company has now, including after tomorrow night, the National Championship. We'll get into that here in just a scoosh. Let's see. JP said Jon Moxley tried to take a break a few years ago, but AEW asked him to stay. Absolutely. Great point. Yeah. And, he's a lifer, man. Jon's a lifer, and he loves doing this. He's a pro, and he wants to work all the time. And you can't fault the guy for that. You know what I mean? So because of all those things and a whole lot more, will they take him off TV? Part of me says no. But, again, when all this starts to go down, when they kick him out, I think it would be a prime time for him to take a little bit of time off. Do I think it's going to happen? We'll just have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm very much looking forward to this match, kids. No doubt about it. We'll see how it all breaks down. I want to go ahead and segue now into the AEW Women's World Championship match. Mercedes Moné taking on Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander is your champion, of course. We've got different people, making different predictions, and that's perfectly fine. By the way, I do predict Jon's going to tap out tomorrow night in case anyone missed that. That's what I believe. I think Jon will tap out. We'll see. But I think Stat's going over tomorrow night. I think that she's going to retain the championship. I think that the women's world title belt has become Mercedes Moné's, we'll get it, white whale, okay? It's going to become that prize that's elusive to her. It's the only belt she has yet to get. And I think there's a way to cut a promo. And I don't know if Stat would be the one to cut this, and maybe she said it in so many words, but, all those belts you carry around, all those belts that, you throw in the back of a truck or all these half-naked guys are carrying around for you, you'd trade all of them just to have this one, wouldn't you? You know what I mean? That's a heck of a promo. You don't want to disrespect the other companies those belts belong to, right? So you'd have to say it in the right kind of way. But honestly, for the character Mercedes Moné, I think that's what we're talking about, that she would do anything to get that championship belt. Because, again, it's her white whale. It's the one thing she can't get her hands on. And it's gnawing at her. You know what I mean? So that's a reference. If you get that, good on you. So, yeah, we'll see how it plays out. I love Mercedes. I think Stat's doing some of the best work that she's ever done in her career that we've seen, of course, in AEW. And I think the same for Mercedes. People can say what they want to about Mercedes, and they loved her better as Sasha and all that other stuff. I guess you can like what you want to like. Not guess. I know you can like what you want to like. But at the same time, let's just be realistic, kids. She's Mercedes Moné now. And like anyone, grieving over whatever happened to Sasha Banks, I got news for you. Sasha Banks got better. She got better. She traveled the world, and she beat some top stars. And she's working some top stars, and now she's the top star. That's what happened to Sasha Banks, man. You don't have to pick her out of the lineup. We all know what happened. So, yeah, JP says, if they had all their main players, I could see Moxley take a time off, but not sure if it'll happen right now. Good call again, JP. Good call again. Unless it is the way to write him off to not being a Continental Championship. Yeah, good call. Great call. Robert says Mercedes holding on to the titles in the beginning. It was great. To me, the women deserve to hold gold. Mercedes doesn't necessarily have to hold gold. I agree with the second part of your sentence, Rob. On the first part, I'm perfectly fine with her having all these belts. Because there is what we hope to be a method to the madness, yeah? We're hoping that as this thing goes along, pardon the cough drop, still dealing with the crud, everybody. But we're hoping as this thing continues on that there is a reason for this. Because if you thought the climb to get Mercedes to this point was phenomenal, wait till you see the fall. When she starts dropping those belts one by one by one by one, we could see her get to the point of the Young Bucks where she's quote unquote out of money and all that other nonsense. I think I'd be here for that. Character building at its finest, you know? I think her and Harley Cameron could end up being a tag team. That's how I feel. I think it could happen. And we'll see. At least friendly, you know? And don't get it twisted, kids. Mercedes is a fantastic heel. She's also a great babyface. And I think all it takes is just the right night, doing the right things, and the next thing you know, she's a top face. We'll see how it plays out. Ray says, Mercedes is probably going to lose, but a small part of me thinks she might have a shot. She's always got a shot, man. Yeah, you're right. She's always got a shot. Joey, what's up, my friend? Mercedes will win the title tomorrow on HBO Max. Chris Statlander to win. I know you're biggest fan of Mercedes, whom I love. Chris want her to be a champion also tomorrow, AEW Casino Gauntlet match. Yeah, so, you know, you're welcome to your prediction. We'll see how it plays out. You could very well be right. Mercedes could win tomorrow night. And again, I said this on the show last night, man. People have their favorites, and people get kooky about pro wrestling as they do about every other thing on the planet, right? But it is what it is. I'm perfectly okay if she wins it. I just would rather Stat keep it for a good while because I don't know why you would drop it right now. Because if you say to me, you know, Mercedes needs it, Mercedes doesn't need that belt. She don't need it tomorrow night anyway. I'd give it to her eventually for sure, but I just feel like that could be a storyline for farther down the road. That's me talking, though. What's up, Sugar Shane? How would you rate greatness? What Mercedes has done compared to Charlotte, 14-time world champion. I mean, Charlotte did all that in one company, Shane. Charlotte's never explored who she is outside of the four walls of WWE. And to answer your question, greatness is subjective based on who you are. I'll give you an example. I made the comment that Mercedes is great. And you fired back with basically what Mercedes has done that even compares. So in your mind, Charlotte's greater. So the amount of greatness is subjective in your opinion versus mine. That's your answer. That's your answer. It's all based on who you prefer. And I don't prefer Mercedes over Charlotte at all. Not saying you prefer Charlotte over Mercedes. But in your point of view, that's how you're measuring greatness. I measure greatness for myself, if that's the question. I measure greatness in terms of where all have you been, who all have you worked. Charlotte's worked with some great people. And along the way, the 14 championships, let's keep in mind, kids, all those belts Mercedes is carrying around have been handed to her. All the championships Charlotte has won have been handed to her. Belts are props on their worst day and on their best day. On their best day, they are major symbols and signifiers of where a talent is based on the promoter's perception of them and belief in them. Okay? And some workers take belts more seriously than others. For some workers, it's all about the world title. For other workers, they're just fine with their place on the card. Both ideologies can work, and neither ideology is necessarily wrong or right, in my opinion. And a lot of that is based on your opinion as well. Okay? So that's my quick answer, is that I gauge it based on where have you worked and who have you worked. Okay? You could argue at this point in time, in my opinion, Mercedes has worked a far more versatile batch of women than Charlotte has in her career. And Mercedes shines. Okay? Mercedes shines in matches against people who are better than her or her equal and who are lesser than. And the mark of a great pro wrestler, kids, is, can that pro wrestler carry another wrestler? Can they make that wrestler look better than what they did before they worked them? And the answer from Mercedes Moné is yes. Mercedes is fantastic. And Mercedes transcends pro wrestling. She's got a career in a life outside of pro wrestling. That's it. She's as valuable to AEW as any of their top male stars. And look, you cannot like her. Not you, but whoever. You guys are free to not like her. But don't, here's what I would say. And if I'm you, I wouldn't base her value should not be based on your personal opinion of her. Her value should be based on what she does for that company. And I think she's big for that company. Okay? Truly big. There have been talent studios I didn't care for, but I'd have to give them props and say, okay, for this specific company on this specific day, this is one of the best workers they have. Didn't care for them, but I couldn't argue their contributions and how the company held them in such high regard. So for anybody saying things like Mercedes is worn or shouldn't have belts, you're entitled to your opinion, kids. But again, as level-headed pro wrestling fans, which I hope we all are, let's not discount how the company holds her and where they hold her in high regard. And look, for anybody that tells me that Mercedes hasn't got better since WWE, I don't think that's a subjective opinion. I think you're objectively wrong. Okay? You go back and look at her first 2 years on the main roster, whatever, compare it to now. I just don't think it compares. And it's okay if you disagree, but I think objectively that's a bad take. That's me talking. Mercedes is winning number 14. Yeah, could be. What's up, Maria? Megan Bain should be next for Chris. She needs to take down a huge challenge like Megan. I'm okay with that. I think Megan Bain's come a long way as well. For sure. Yeah. All right, kids. We got a lot more card to get to, by the way. I am picking Stat to win. We'll see if I'm right. No idea. We'll see how it all plays out. Let's get to the rest of this card, kids. If you got any more comments about Stat and Mercedes, feel free to throw them in the chat. We got a big pre-show, too. Let's run down the pre-show real quick before we move on. Boom and Doom. That's Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall with Big Justice. All right. Versus RPG Vice, Rocky Romero, and Trent Beretta. I mean, I'm guessing this Boom and Doom combo is going to win. It is what it is. Max Caster and Anthony Bowens versus the Bang Bang Gang of Austin and Juice. Big Bill and Brian Keith versus the Outrunners. $200,000 four-way tag team match. I'll pick the Outrunners, but I don't think they're winning. I mean, I hope they do. I love the Outrunners. I mean, winning and losing is what it is, but I just want the Outrunners to get a bigger push than they have. I just want them to have more. I love everybody in this match, by the way. I love the Bang Bang Gang for sure. El Sky Team, Mystico, Mascara Dorada, and Neon. By the way, who watched that Mascara Dorada versus Okada match on Wednesday on Collision? That was tough. That was a tough match, man. Dorada slipped up. He wasn't on his game. It's okay. Wrestlers have off days all the time. A buddy, that was hard to watch. At any given time, thought he was going to hurt himself or hurt Okada accidentally. It was tough to watch. And, sometimes a guy can work through it, slow down. But here's what I'll tell you. And this, man, I love the acrobatic stuff. Please don't anybody read into this. But here's the old man coming at me, okay? When you insist on doing the flips off the ropes and that's where you're losing your footing and all the high spots is where you're screwing up, take a breath, man. Take a breath. Stay on the ground for a bit. Save those high spots to where they'll matter the most. It's just me talking. You guys are free to disagree if you'd like to. That's scary to watch, I'm just saying. I got distracted. Mystico, Mascara, and the Neon versus the Dawn Callis family of Okada, Konosuke Takeshita, and Heshishiro. Trios match for the CMLL World Trios Championship. I think they're going to win these belts. Okada, Takeshita, and Heshishiro. We'll see what happens, but I think they're going to get them. Hook and Eddie Kingston versus the Workhorsemen, Henry and JD Drake. It's Kingston and Hook's match to win, guys. And I think, of course, Henry and Drake are great. But, yeah, this is Eddie and Hook's match to win. I just don't see any other way around it. Let's see. Joey says, Bianca Belair, CA free agency, Art. She going to maybe change, Jay Cart. Yeah, brother, I'm having a hard time reading your stuff, my friend. Agency Art, she going to maybe change. Yeah, brother, I would address what you said, but I'm not really, I'm having a difficult time with that, if I'm being honest with you. Maria says Hook and Burger Kingston. What's your issue with Kingston? Is it the body? I'm just asking. Burger Kingston. That's interesting. Let's see what else we got going on, kids. We also have the Casino Gauntlet match for the inaugural AEW National Championship. I don't know if I gave a prediction on the show last night about this match. I don't know that I did about who I thought was going to. Well, actually, I did. I think it's going to be between Shelton. It's going to be between Shelton and Lashley. I'll throw another prediction out here today. I think it's going to be Ricochet. I think Ricochet will weasel his way in somehow, as the crew suggested last night. But I could be wrong. Casino Gauntlet match, kids, in case you need to catch up. It's a modified gauntlet match, as we know, featuring a maximum of 21 participants. Match starts with 2 workers in the ring, and new entrants enter at randomly timed intervals. The match may end at any time by pinfall or submission, even if not all 21 participants have taken part in the match. I hate that step. I don't get it. It's never worked for me. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, another championship belt, kids. That national title, we'll see how it plays out. A lot of belts in that company, as Chris Patton, our friend Chris Patton, has pointed out more than one time, and with good reason. But yeah, a lot of belts in that company. We'll see how it plays out. But I'd be interested to see. And by the way, Continental Classic starts back up again soon. Yeah, a lot of belts happening, brother. A lot. Let's talk about Brodito versus FTR. AEW World Tag Team Championship match. I think FTR is going over. FTR is being booked to the point that they can't lose. And it's okay. They're a veteran tag team. One of the best in that company. I get it to a large degree. However, I made my feelings known about how much I love the Outrunners, and I think Jet Speed's a solid tag team. But it is what it is. But I do think FTR is taking those belts tomorrow night. I think if they don't, it would be perfectly fine because Brodito is great. But I do think it's going to happen. But I'd be curious to see what you guys think. JP says, Royal Rumble War Games was way better than Casino Battle Royal. Maria says his promos are great, but he should hit the gym a little bit and change his gear. Well, I can't disagree, but Eddie's going to be Eddie all the time. Eddie's not changing for anybody. Maria says Lashley wins this worthless title. It's only worthless if nothing's done with it. So that part I'll disagree with you on. A belt's only worthless if a worker can't add value to it. So it's up to the company to book whoever wins correctly and to add value to it. I mean, look at the amount of respect that Orange Cassidy brought that international championship when he held it. The worker makes the belt. And if the belt's making the worker, that's a problem. Yeah. So I firmly believe the worker should make the belt. Maria also says that FTR is winning. Yeah, I think so too. Outrunner's a little too corny to win championships. I completely disagree with that. Completely disagree. No, I can't agree with that at all. What's corny anymore? What's that even mean anymore? What does corny and goofball mean in 2025? Do you know what I mean? Can you guys not envision Orange Cassidy being a world champion? Because I sure can. I don't think that's corny at all. You know what I mean? Like, I respect your opinion, but I love the Outrunners. I think they're fantastic. And I think they're just the right amount of comedy, and they can also work. They put on good matches, and I love those guys. So, yeah, it's no more corner than anybody else they've got in that company, to be honest with you. Look, Mark Briscoe's corny. We love Mark, don't we? Sugar Shane says, do you think Ricky Steamboat will be there and by accident interfere for FTR, are you thinking? It's possible. But Steamboat going heel is not something any of us want to see. Rob says Eddie and Hook deserve to win. They've worked hard to get to this point. I mean, Eddie worked a long time to get back, for sure. No doubt about that. Let's see, kids. We've also got, talk about a big-time championship or big-time tag match. The $1 million trios match. If you believe that, you believe anything. Kenny Omega and Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks and Josh Alexander. I think Omega and the Express are winning here, and I think Young Bucks are going face. I said on the Peaches and Power Bombs last night, kids, that when it comes to the Bucks going face, if this is all swerve and they're going to stay heel and actually join the Don Callis family, it's lazy. But this company has been guilty of lazy booking in the past, as many companies have been. Don't forget about that. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I think this match might steal the show, if I'm being honest. The Bucks are still awesome. Okay? And you could argue the Bucks are very formulaic. They hit their moves. But, they've got like 6 signature moves or more, man. Enough to keep you going, wait, whoa, like a tennis match. You know what I mean? And they can still go. I got a lot of respect in the world for them. Like, even when their character work is crap, and a lot of this heel character work has been crap, in my opinion. I like the money aspect to a degree. But I think a lot of the promos and stuff haven't been great. But, buddy, when it comes right down to it, you can't take anything away from the Bucks in the ring, man. Because between those ropes, they are still freaking awesome. You know what I mean? They deliver every time. Just one of the best tag teams ever, dude. Honestly. JP says FTR is going to force a tag match with Cage and Cope. Could be, yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Ray says Orange is a great worker, and I could see him as champ. I mean, look, Ray, brother, you are more entitled to your opinion. I don't think you think that Orange is a great worker. Be honest with me. It's okay if you don't think he is, but I don't believe you think he's a great worker. It's okay if we disagree. We can disagree, man. We're still bros, you know what I mean? But I don't think you think Orange is a great worker. I do. And his peers think so as well. But you're entitled. You're not required to go along with anybody else. You can believe that you don't think he's awesome. And he doesn't need to gain pounds or weight or anything like that. I think he's great. So, yeah. Let's see. Maria says Orange Cassidy's no world champion. Well, that's your opinion. And you're welcome to it. I disagree. And, don't crap on Doink the Clown, man. That original Doink the Clown, Matt Bourne, was great. Matt Bourne did some of the best character work that nobody ever saw coming. Because that first iteration of Doink the Clown is great. And Matt Bourne was right at home in that paint, dude. He did wonderfully well. Yeah, you're free to have your favorites. I'm not gonna personally call it that way. I love Orange. And look, I'm on the record. Go back in the archives of this here show, kids, and you'll hear it. I was on the record when all this AEW stuff first started. I said, I don't get it. I don't get this Orange stuff. And then I turned on to it. Took me a minute, but I turned on. Because then I realized, oh, this is just mind games. You know what I mean? When you look at it through the prism of mind games in the world of pro wrestling, I'm not talking about in our world. Our world sucks. I'm talking about in the world of pro wrestling. When you look at it, whether it's Doink or Taker or Santino or Danhausen, Goldust, okay? In that world, it's mind games. That's what it is. Orange Cassidy's shtick is mind games. The man behind the gimmick of Orange Cassidy when that man puts on the Orange Cassidy gimmick and steps between the ropes, we see fun and entertaining, but he's a great worker. But in that world, it's all mind games. The fact that you give him the best shot you have and he sticks his hands in his pockets and says, whatever. That is nothing but, he's disrespecting me, is he? Because that makes you lose your temper, causes you to make a mistake. Orange can slide in, capitalize, and get the win. I think it's brilliant. Ray says, he is a great worker. To my Orange. Yeah. The Bucks should turn face. I agree. Totally agree. JP says, I always love the Young Bucks working the ring, and if I can't stand the storyline, I think they'll walk away. I do too. I think they're walking away from that for sure. But again, lots of stuff going on tomorrow night, and that's just one of the matches that we've got to look forward to. So yeah, for sure. I think it'll be a highlight of the night. I still think it's gonna steal the show, man, for sure. Kyle Fletcher versus Mark Briscoe. No DQ, AEW TNT Championship. If Briscoe loses, he has to join the Don Callis family. All right, kids, here we go. You ready? There's two ways this could go. All right, there's several ways it could go. Let me give you the two that I think. One, the easiest thing to do, just freaking put Briscoe over. What are we doing? Give him that TNT title. Let him have it for 6 months. Put him over. Just put the guy over. Kyle's had it. I'm not going to say Kyle's had it long enough. What's long enough? Kyle's had it for a good long time. He's added to it. It's added to him. We're done. You know what I mean? Kyle can move on to the world title scene. Kyle can move on to the national championship, whatever other thing they want this guy to do. And I think it would be great. I say put the belt on Mark. If you're not going to put the belt on Mark, you're going to put him in the Don Callis family, make it fun. Make it count. Let's have fun with this, man. And again, like people shake their heads when I pitch this. That's okay. I welcome the heat. But it's like, I don't say no to anything like that. But you know why? Because Mark is a talented guy. And we know Mark for being the toothless, crazy dude. Okay? Is that all Mark can do? Or can Mark do something else? Am I talking about, he's got new teeth, he's got a shirt and tie, and he's clean shaven? I'm not saying that. That might be enough to ruin him for fans. It could very well ruin him for fans. Remember when they turned Ricky Morton heel? Put him, and I won't remember the group now. Put him in a suit, and it's horrible. I mean, the background of that was that Ricky and Robert didn't always get along. And they were going through a long stretch of not getting along. And they wanted to push Ricky, so they split him up. They put him with that group. And it was Marina before she was Melina, excuse me. Marina? I'm blanking on her name. Terry Reynolds. I forgot her working name. Because he was Alexandra Wentworth, I think. Yeah. It didn't work. Tag teams can get split up and it could work. You know what I mean? Now, also to the credit, to the point of, they didn't stick with it either. They didn't leave him there very long. It just wasn't getting over. It's a tough sell to a large degree. Is that what would happen if Mark were to turn heel and join the Don Callis family? It very well could. Or he can knock it out of the park. I don't say no to anything like that right now. JP says Mark Briscoe wins. He has not joined the Don Callis family. We'll see. Sugar Shane says, remember when Jimmy Garvin lost a match against David Von Erich and he had to serve him for him? Oh, for sure. I would love that. That'd be cool. Yeah, had to muck the stables, muck the horse stalls and stuff. I remember that. That was good times. Man, Jimmy Garvin, the night Jimmy came out when Ronnie Garvin, his brother, quote unquote, got hit by that fireball. One of the coolest things I'd ever seen as a kid, because the commentators were like, Jimmy Garvin's out here. And the faces in the ring did the best job of selling it. Like, what is he doing out here? Because Jimmy was a heel, right? It was great. I freaking loved it, man. I loved it so much. As a kid, I've made this known on my show many times before. I'm a sucker for happy endings. I'm a sucker for the good guy doing the right thing. I'm a sucker for the bad guy finally changing his ways and doing the right thing. Doesn't happen in the Royal Rumble, does it? Maybe one day. So, yeah, see how it all plays out. But I think this is going to be a great match. Again, just do it easy way here. There, Mr. Khan, there in the AEW, their freaking group. Just put Mark over. Put the belt on him. What are we doing? 5 matches, I think. Come on, guys. Put him over. Let's go. Let's go. This guy beat MJF. He beat MJF, but he can't beat Kyle Fletcher for championship. No disrespect to Kyle Fletcher. Come on, guys. What are we doing? Put him over. We'll see. Darby Allin versus Pac. This match looks like a nothing on paper. I don't mean nothing, but you know what I mean. There's no championships, no steps, no nothing. But this match could be big as well. Because Pac, possibly the new leader of the Death Riders. I had a weird thought jump into my head today. What if Danielson ended up taking over the Death Riders? It's not going to happen. But can you imagine the guy they put a bag over his head ends up taking the group back from Jon? Not going to happen. But boy, wouldn't that be something. Don't know how they'd play it. I still don't think Danielson's done working in the ring, but we'll see. We shall see. Yeah, Darby's going to throw himself off of stuff. Pac's going to throw him off of stuff. Darby's going to do some crazy spots. That's what Darby does. And, yeah, we'll see how it all plays out. But I'm telling you, man, Darby's fantastic. He truly is. Darby's great. And in terms of what happens tomorrow night, my prediction, I think Darby needs to win this, but I don't think he's going to. I think Pac's winning. Because I think there's just too much stuff happening with the Death Riders right now. And for him not to go over, for Pac not to go over, doesn't make a lot of sense. Ray says, I think Kyle loses. Mark deserves the belt. Adam Cole. God, would you quit with Adam's weight? You're making me nuts with that. Psycho. JP says Pac should win if he becomes leader of the Death Riders. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, otherwise it invalidates it, doesn't it? Ray says Pac wins. I agree. I think every time Darby's on pay-per-view and doesn't win a match, an angel loses its wings. I'm just saying. I crack myself up. You like that? I'll pop myself, baby. Happens all the time. That doesn't happen all the time. Darby not winning on pay-per-view happens all the time. See if I can regain my form. Cough drops are not doing too much good, are they? Yeah, we'll see. Babes of Wrath, Willow and Harley Cameron. Harley Cameron's the MVP, baby. Versus the Sisters of Sin, Julia Hart and Sky Blue. And the Timeless Love Bombs, Tony Storm, Mina Shirakawa, Megan Bain, and Marina Shafir. The winning team in this match chooses the stip for their seminal semifinal match in the inaugural AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship Tournament. I think I'm going with Bain and Shafir to win this match. That's what I think. But I love all the women in this match, too. You don't have a weak link here. There's not a weak link here. It's not. Marina's gotten much better. Everybody here is great. I'm all for it. Harley Cameron is a goddess, okay? And not only that, she's got a great sense of humor. She's freaking hilarious. And she's awesome. I'm all here for it, man. All here for it. I think the women are going to do great. I love that they're all in this match. I hope they get time. Anything under 10 to 12 minutes is a waste of time for me. Give these ladies time to work there, freaking AEW. Give them their due. Let them work, okay? Honestly, what are we doing? But yeah, we'll see. JP says Ray knows he's wrong and doesn't want to give up the Ray doesn't know he's wrong. I think you underestimate Ray Dean, man. Ray knows it. Ray doesn't know he's wrong. Ray believes he's right with every fiber of his being. One more match to get to here, kids, and that's going to be it for this here card. Then we'll open the floor. I got a few things to say about the main event, last week's episode. As I promised last week, Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe, steel cage match for AEW World Championship. I believe Page retains, and we'll see how it works out. But that's what I think. And I do not believe Joe's winning the title. I think on any given night, Samoa Joe winning your world championship works. It could work tomorrow night if it's played right. But honestly, I feel like it's not Heyman's time to lose that belt just yet. Will they do it? Who knows? But I'm picking Heyman Adam Page to retain tomorrow night. We'll see, man. We shall see. There's your AEW Full Gear card, kids. Are you looking forward to this show? Do you hope it's awesome? For me, yes and yes. First of all, I'm looking forward to it. Second, I know it'll be awesome. Because AEW, I've never seen AEW put out a bad show. I don't think they can. I've seen weak dynamites and collisions, but not pay-per-view. They absolutely crush it on pay-per-view. You're welcome to disagree. But yeah, man, I absolutely think that they are, they're in their pocket. When they want to be in their pocket and everything's firing on all cylinders, I don't think any company on the planet can touch them. I said it. I don't care. People can come to me with that WWE crap anytime they want to. It's my show, and I don't have to worry about. There's some things when I'm invited onto other shows, I'm there as a courtesy to them, and I'm humbled to be invited onto other people's shows, and I always like to appear whenever I can. But I would never engage in certain topics and whatnot. But I'm gonna be straight with you, man. WWE platforms MAGA, and I got nothing to say about that. I'm done. I don't, we kind of knew how the leadership of that company always felt. 100% out there now. Yeah, I don't. And look, it's not some big, glaring, declaration. It's not some big shock. We all knew how they were leaning. But now that they're forthright with it, yeah, I could never see myself going back to watch that company again. I just can't. Good luck to the talents. But, yeah, I got nothing positive to say about that company at all. JB says Marina Shafir wins to help punch what is going to happen Wednesday because they can tell Moxley that he's out of the Death Riders. Yeah, it could happen on Wednesday. We'll see. For sure. Yeah. JP says Page retains the you called a filler match that never should have happened, even with Joe. Joe's great, man. JP says also, I'm looking forward to it and wish I could see it. No money right now. Brother, I hear you. I feel you on that. Yeah. I won't promote illegal sites there, JP. I may send you a link. Now that I say everybody's going to what link you got? It's not like that. Trust me. But yeah, I feel you. I know where you're coming from. For sure. All right, kids, let's open this floor up. For those of you who are still around, you are free to ask your questions. I got some things I want to say before I start taking questions here about this. And, Ray, Cena's absolutely. Yeah. Don't be fooled, my friend. Cena is absolutely that. For sure. Yeah. John's smarter, though, than a lot of them are. John plays it coy. John's absolutely MAGA. I'm saying. Ray, I'll throw you a question back up in a second. I just got a few things to say here. Last week, I had 5 other guests on the show with me, and it was great to have them on board. I had Marie and Laura and Ray and Chris and Joe, and I've recorded with these folks with some more than others over the years, but more frequently than others, I should say. I love doing this. I hope it's obvious. I love what I do. We're doing the best we can with Boink Studios, trying to get the name out there. We appreciate everybody always watching and listening, sharing the links, subscribing, following the audio version and the video versions of the shows we have here at Boink Studios. And I appreciate everybody hanging out every week. The road to 400 was long and paved with a lot of ups and downs. And, the month of December is hard for me personally. We lost my sister at the end of 2019 in December. So December is always here with, since that time, it's here with very mixed emotions. You guys know I'm a Christmas person. My tree goes up every November 1st. But it's always tougher. But, the road to 400 has been, it's with that. And it's also with, some great things too that have happened along the way. The birth of my son, Actually, my son was born before the show started. There you go. But, he's grown up as the show has happened because we started in 2014 and he was 6 years old at the time. So, yeah. But again, kids, I just didn't have the opportunity to really thank you guys one-on-one last week. So I want to take a minute to do that right now. But yeah, I appreciate everybody always tuning in. We have regulars who are here all the time, and you guys could be, could be anywhere else in the world, but you're hanging out with me, and I appreciate that. So, yeah, always means loads to me. You guys are the best, and yeah, I didn't feel like I made it clear enough last week. I feel like I'm fumbling over my words right now. It's been a long week, man. It's been a long week, but yeah, lots of ups and downs in the past 11 years, but the show rolls on, and in a couple of years we'll hit episode 500. And who knows what the future holds? I mean, I could wake up one day and decide I don't want to do any of this anymore. You never can tell. None of us may be here next week. Who knows? But fingers crossed, we'll all make it through. We shall see. But again, it's a very wordy thank you and all that crap. But, again, just want to throw it out there that I appreciate your attention, your time and attention as well. Means a lot. Thank you very much. Ray says Ice Cube or Q-Tip. Q-Tip. Part 2, 50 Cent or Lil Wayne. Oh, I'll say 50, I guess. If Adam Cole invited you to his private in-house movie theater in which you could see any movie that's out now, I don't have one that I like to see now. And if you say you could bring a friend, would you please call me? Sure. Later, want to get a dinner that included some barbecue ribs, fries, cold glass of water. Absolutely. In terms of the movie, I don't know. It's Adam's house. I'll let him make the call what movie it is. If I'm hanging out with Adam Cole. Fernando says Marcus joined the Don Callis family. He could. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to quit, man. I have no plans on quitting. I will tell you what happened. Can I be honest with you? Leading up to 400 and planning 400 and trying to get guests lined up to see who could come on and all that good stuff, it crossed my mind, like, what if I just shocked everybody and showed up and said, welcome to episode 400. This is the last one. Because I started thinking, what a way to go out. 400 episodes. You know what I mean? How cool is that? You don't want to overstay your welcome. And at any given point through the years, I've asked myself, have I overstayed my welcome? Is there going to come a time when I show up and no one else shows up? Is there going to come a time when my downloads go off a cliff? Anything could happen. A lot of pro wrestling podcasts out there. A lot of people out there look like me, white dudes with beards. Some do better than me, I'm sure. Some don't do half as good as I can. And others are make more money than maybe I'll ever see in my lifetime. Maybe. But I just do what I do. I can't pretend to be somebody I'm not. I feel like I'm a better podcaster today than I was when I started. Absolutely. I can't go back and watch and listen to those shows from 2014. It's painful. It's painful because I was on a learning curve and I had to learn how to do this. And look, kids, you either learn how to do this or you don't. And that's the tough bit. And I didn't have anybody telling me. I didn't have anybody telling me how to do it. I rehearsed all the time off mic. I ran through, I would write things down, I'd read through them, I'd run through them, and then I hit record. I just wanted to sound professional, which hopefully I do. That's always the goal. But, we all have a certain level that we want to aspire to be and aspire to maintain. And, I'm no different than anybody else when it comes to that. I don't want to put out crap. You know what I mean? It's perfectly fine if everybody disagrees with me. I've been on the island many times in the past, and I'm sure we all have as fans. But I just don't want to put out crap. When someone looks at my stuff, if they say, I don't agree with him, that's one thing. If they say, that was the worst looking show, the artwork's terrible, the music sucks, that's a problem for me. That's vanity talking, perhaps. But also, I don't want to waste your time. Your time is valuable. I put crap in front of you, and I kick back, and my stuff looks bad, and I'm phoning it in. I'm chilling out. My background looks bad. Dude, I'm not going to do that to you. I got more pride in myself than that. If I'm going to ask you to spend an hour plus with me every Friday, you're going to get better than that, I promise you. And I got plenty of audio shows that aren't video format. And I promise you, I put just as much detail and eye for detail and work into producing those shows as I do this one. I promise you. I spend hours, dude. For an hour episode of the 6M podcast, I could spend 2 hours. We're doing the edit. I'm not kidding. Sometimes it takes forever because I want it to be right. You know what I mean? Because again, for people who stick with me all these years, and by the way, when you've been doing this for 11 years like I have, you better have figured this out by now. Because if you haven't, what are you doing? Anyway, let's see. JP says, love your show. I appreciate you, man, very much. What's Alma? What's up, Alma? Good to see you. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I see. From December 9th, 20 years. Yeah. I hear you. I appreciate you, Alma, very much. Thank you as always. Thank you, Alma, for that comment. I appreciate you. Mr. T or Apollo Creed? What was Mr. T's movie name in the movie in Rocky 2 or 3? What was it? Clubber Lang. I mean, I got to go Apollo Creed. The Clubber Lang character was great. Thank you, JP. Eddie Murphy or Richard Pryor? Well, I'll say Richard Pryor because without Richard Pryor, you don't have Eddie Murphy. Let's put it that way. Al Pacino or Robert De Niro? Ooh, I lean more toward Pacino for some reason. Rambo or Rocky? Rocky. Rocky for sure. Yeah. All right, kids. We're coming up on the hour. Has anybody else got anything before we sign off today? Anything you want to share? Anything you want to talk? E disappeared, man. I told E to come back around, didn't I? And he didn't show up. Shane, that's very nice of you to say, man. I appreciate you. Say the main event is the foundation of pro wrestling. I appreciate you, man. I'm just doing what I can do. I'm sure there's probably folks who have been doing this and they would watch my show and said, this guy's a friggin' clown. I don't know. It's fine. I've watched my fair share of bad podcasts, what I would deem to be bad podcasts. And some of them got millions and millions and millions of viewers. Do you know what I mean? So what do I know at the end of the day? Again, all I can do is just be me and do the best I can. That's all I can ever do. I can only ever deliver the best to my ability. That's my max. I'll go 1,000%. I'll go above and beyond. We all say that, but look, if you could push the stone up the hill 20 feet and you physically can't do any more because you're about to break a leg, 20 feet's your max. It's not much of a motivational speech, is it? It's like, aspire to greatness. If you don't get there, that's cool too. I don't mean that. You know what I mean, right? I'm just saying, my maximum effort, I promise you, is always going to be maximum effort. I'm not going to phone it in. I'd feel bad if I phoned it in, dude. I'm not kidding. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? 100% yes. By the way, kids, we reviewed Die Hard on the Christmas episode of the Tom Clark 6M podcast last Christmas. If you've not watched it, brother, are you missing out? Because we had loads of fun doing that show. We had a lot of people on the screen. And just because you guys brought it up, and just because I like to share links, I'm about to drop that link. If I can get things to work. I hate when things don't work. Please work. And things aren't going to work. Isn't that awesome? Here we go. There it is. I had the wrong link. Let's see. Let's take that and let's drop it right here. If you guys are subscribing to Boink Studios on YouTube, then there you go. Then you would know all about it. Alma, I hate that I forgot to mention Bob Caudle. By the way, rest in peace to the legendary Bob Caudle. Bob holding that mic out here like he did, doing this. Great. I love Bob. Voice of my childhood. In as much as Tony Schiavone was a voice of my childhood, so was Bob Caudle, man. For sure. One of the many voices of my childhood, but primary among them, because I was a pro wrestling fan. I still am. Pro wrestling fan as a kid. I heard Bob's voice more than I heard family members' voice to some degree. Like, it's crazy. Bob lived a good long life. 95 years old. Good for him, man. Condolences to his family and his fans, of course, and all the best to them. But yeah, Bob Caudle, a true legend. And I kicked myself for not bringing it up on the show last night. JB says Die Hard and Die Hard 2, Die Harder are both Christmas. Yeah, I just prefer the first one to the second one. I'm not crazy about the second one, man. Maria says you had about Toby. Is Toby and Doomsday, is that confirmed? Because if it is, I love Toby. I love Toby's Spider-Man. We'll see how it works out, but I love it. Love it. Fernando says, I grew up on Bob when he was with Crockett. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you grew up in certain parts of the country, you grew up with Bob calling your ear and your face all the time. Yep, then I'm all for it, Maria, for sure. For sure. That Avengers Doomsday movie is going to be huge. And everybody decided to take crap on it. I hope y'all end up eating crow because I hope it's as great as I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be massive, honestly. Can't wait to see it. I think it's going to make $1 billion. Well, I don't know about $1 billion. I think it'll top 600-700 million. I could be wrong. A lot of star power in that movie, though, man. A lot of star power. All right, kids, that's going to do it for us. I did better this week than I had the past 3 weeks. Yeah, I barely coughed. Now it'll happen as soon as I get off mic. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody hanging out with us today. And I'm almost back to rare form, or to true form, I should say. So yeah, long time coming, but I think we're almost there, which is a good thing. Yeah, because I've been sick for a long time. But kids, before we go, a real quick reminder: Boink Studios on YouTube and boinkstudios.com. Okay. Tomorrow, a brand new episode of Bachman's Basement. Tomorrow, Chris Patton and Chris Clausen review The Jaunt, the epic sci-fi chilling horror story from novelist Stephen King, of course. Bachman's Basement, brand new episodes every Saturday. Next Thursday, the Patton Report returns. And this time, the episode is going to be about the Kirby video game series. Chris Patton is your man for that one. So check those two out. This coming Monday, a brand new live edition of Ray Sports and Slams at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Don't miss that show. Should be a great one. We're looking forward to that. On Tuesday, a brand new episode of Tom Clark's 6M podcast. And just so you know, it's going to be Major League. Phil Lindsay and I review that movie. We recorded this past week, and hopefully you will love that show. And then we start the whole thing back over again with the Patton Report on Thursday. And Tom Clark's main event, by the way, will not be here next week. The Patton Report will come out next Thursday on Thanksgiving. It's a pre-recorded show, not live. We're still going to put that out. But a week from today, Tom Clark's main event will not be here. Okay? So you guys don't forget about that, okay? Enjoy your holiday next week, kids. And I'm sure I'll see you around on Twitter here and there. Not Twitter. God, did I just say Twitter? Bite my tongue clean out of my head for that one. But I'm sure I'll see you guys here and there on the Facebook. Yeah, I'll see you on the Facebook as we go. But feel free to say hello anytime you want to. And again, kids, I got to thank everybody here for hanging out as always. I mean everything I said earlier about the show. You guys are awesome. Do me a favor, folks. If you celebrate Thanksgiving, please have a safe one next week. If you're traveling this weekend to go to see family or whatever, please safe travels to you. Enjoy Full Gear tomorrow night. Have a great holiday next week. Again, if you celebrate it. And if you don't, just have a great week. We appreciate you guys very much. Thank you, as always, for watching, for listening, for subscribing, for downloading, for all that stuff and a whole lot more. Thanks, as always. And we'll see you next time, kids.